Today, I put every 2,000-yard rusher in NFL history in today's NFL. Now, this video was inspired by FantasyPhenoms. I watched this video on every 2,000-yard rusher, and I figured what would happen if we put those guys in today's NFL. So I'll leave a link to that video in the description. There have only been 8 total throughout all of football history. Most recently, we had Derrick Henry back in 2020 for the Tennessee Titans with 2,027 yards. And for whatever reason, Madden did not give him a 99 overall the year after. But that's not a problem in today's video because all of these running backs will be a 99. We had to do it like that because most of these guys played before we had their real Madden ratings. Some of them played before Madden was even a thing. So we had to make everyone a 99 to be as fair as possible. So here's the real Derrick Henry in Tennessee. Don't worry, Ravens fans, we created another Derrick Henry with the same exact stats as the previous one. But before Henry, we have to go all the way back to 2012 when Adrian Peterson had 2,097 rushing yards for the Minnesota Vikings. Here he is, back in Minnesota, leading the way for the Vikings. Aaron Jones behind him. Now the Vikings have 299s on their offense, but they're not the only team that has 299s. How about the Tennessee Titans again? CJ2K earned that nickname back in 2006 when he rushed for 2,006 yards for the Titans back in Tennessee. Him and Derrick Henry, along with Pollard, might be the best three-headed tandem at running back. But the Ravens might have an argument for the second best two-headed tandem at running back now that they have Jamal Lewis, who rushed for 2,066 yards in 2003 for the Baltimore Ravens. 5'11", 245 will be the starter in Baltimore. Their run game is going to be insane. Before him, we had to go to 1998 when Terrell Davis rushed for 2,008 yards for the Denver Broncos. The Broncos get an elite running back on the squad, and so do the Detroit Lions. Just 1 year before Terrell, Barry Sanders rushed for 2,053 yards in 1997 for the Detroit Lions. Very nasty running back trio, but Barry will get the majority of the carries. Now you have to go back to 1984 for the guy who did it before Barry Sanders. That's Eric Dickerson, who rushed for 2,105 yards, NFL record that still stands for the Los Angeles Rams. Now I couldn't find a way to get his goggles. Trust me, I tried. I went to edit gear, edit face, headgear. Like there was no goggles, unfortunately, so I couldn't make it extremely realistic, but we gave him the neck pad at least, and hopefully he can help them make the playoffs. And then the first running back to rush for 2,000 yards in a season actually did it in a 14-game season. O.J. Simpson, who rushed for 2,003 yards in 1973 for the Buffalo Bills, is now back in Buffalo. RB1 for Josh Allen and company. We're gonna see gameplay from each of these running backs. One drive to see what they're capable of doing. CJ2K and the Titans up first. Levis tries to go to DeAndre. It ends up incomplete. Maybe it'll go to the run on second down and 10. That's Chase Young on the D-line. Look at DeMario stopping Johnson for a loss of 1. Now if it's a quick 3 and out, we will give them another chance, but DeMario's already in the zone. Not looking like they're going to be able to get the first. Hey, you never know. Levis incomplete again. Quick 3 and out. Now I kind of feel bad for Derrick Henry. He's going to be the backup on both the Ravens and the Titans. But look at Ckbirds getting Tennessee their first down of the game. But yeah, I made sure he was the power back for Tennessee at least. Every other running back, you know, I gave them not only starting running back, but also power halfback and third down running back so they can get the most touches possible. Best run of the game so far from Chris Johnson, 5 yards on that one. Multiple tight ends in a game. You know they're going to run the football again. CJ2K getting another nice gain. 3rd and 1. Is that Henry at fullback? Okay, let's see if they go fullback dive. No, it's a run to the running back. Johnson fights for the first. Now they're running the ball really well. Here's Levis off the play action, looking for his number 1 wide receiver, DeAndre Hopkins. We have yet to see Derrick Henry touch the football yet. This time it's 5 wide for Will Levis. He's going to try to go to Johnson, but instead it's the Honey Badger with the INT. They should have kept on running. All right, let's send to the 4th. If it's close, we will hop in and watch them on offense. See if any team can get some points. It's still 0-0. Finally, the Saints score. Titans answer back with a touchdown. 14 all. First game in the video goes to overtime. The Saints get ball first. Now it's the regular season, so if they get a touchdown, they win. Titans force a punt on their first defensive drive. Now they win with a field goal, and they're gonna have to punt the ball. Wait a minute. Roughing the kicker on the Saints. Pete Werner, the culprit, 15 yards. And just like that, they're in field goal range. The kick is is up, and it's good. Tennessee starts off 1-0. 27 carries, under 10 yards for Johnson. Henry with 8 for 38, and they get the dub. Now we're in week number 10, looking at the Broncos with Terrell Davis, taking on the Bills with O.J. Simpson, both around 500. It's a pretty big game. First up on offense, Buffalo with 295 plus overalls in the backfield. Allen, play action. Oh, God. Nice blitz off the edge. O.J. couldn't block him. Allen just has to get rid of it, and it's incomplete. 2nd and 10, Allen under center. Let's see if O.J. gets his first touch of the game. Yes. Let's see what he's able to do. O.J. making people miss already. Huge gain, breaking tackles. 29 yards. Denver showing mid-blitz, and they're actually going to stick to it. Allen can't complete it. They went to Surtain's side, and that's another incompletion. Now Patrick's in the zone. Might want to avoid throwing to him. 3rd and 6. Here comes another pass, another blitz from Denver. Incomplete. Josh 1 for 4 for 4 yards on the first drive, and they're going to have to punt. First play from scrimmage for the Broncos. Nix can't complete that one. Usually they smarten up and go to the running back on 2nd down. Yep, exactly as predicted. What a play by Edwards. Tackle for a loss. But if I'm Denver, I keep going back to him. Maybe not on this play. Maybe a screen. Something of that nature. Let's see what Nix decides to do. Do not take a safety, buddy. He throws it away. It's not intentional grounding. We're going to have to watch the Broncos again since it was a quick 3 and out. See if Buffalo gets any points on their next drive. Yes, they get a touchdown. Some good running by O.J. Simpson. And Josh Allen caps it off with a rushing touchdown. Now let's see if Denver can answer back with a scoring drive of their own. Nix completes. No, never mind. Not getting any help from his receivers or tight ends. That was perfectly placed. Yeah, you got to run it. And the Bills knew they were running it. Davis still got positive yards. If it's another 3 and out, we just got to move on. I'm sorry. 2 chances is more than enough. Let's see if they can get this first down. 3rd and 6. Nix, bottom of the screen, interception. This one has a chance to go all the way to the crib to Ron Johnson, putting Buffalo up 2 possessions. Very rough start for Denver, but you still have a 99 overall running back. Do not abandon the run. There we go. Only down 1 possession. Heading into halftime. Never mind. I spoke too soon. 2 possession lead for the Buffalo Bills. Here comes the Broncos. Only down 3. They tie it up in the 4th quarter. So now the Bills can secure the W with 1 first down. This time is James Cook, and he gets the first down with these. Buffalo in victory formation, and the Broncos fall below 500. Meanwhile, Buffalo goes to 6 and 4. Tough game for Bo Nix. O.J. 6.6 yards a carry, 1 touchdown. Terrell Davis 16 for 80, 5 yards a carry and a touchdown. So they both ran really well. Bills are just a little bit better. Our next matchup, we have the #1 offense in the league, the Ravens, with Jamal Lewis taking on the Rams with Eric Dickerson, trying to fight for a playoff spot. At 5 and 7, they need this W. I'm starting to get mad, and I'm not even a Rams fan. Like, why do they do so bad in Sims? They have 3 guys with abilities, and they're already struggling in this one. Roquan with a sack on Stafford. Like, Dickerson, Cup, and Puka should be more than enough to be at least above 500, man. It makes no sense why EA does not like him. Dickerson, though, getting a lot of those yards back, making it a 3rd and 10. If there's a way to put goggles on these players, please let me know in the comments. Maybe I have to create them from scratch in the main screen. Who knows? I don't know. Either way, incomplete pass. Stafford. And this offense going 3 and out will give them another chance. But first, time to see the best offense in the league in terms of points per game. Lamar and Jamal Lewis in the backfield on first down. He's dropping one all the way back. He's going deep. Intended for Zay Flowers, incomplete. Very next play, though, they're going back to the pass. This time, Lamar is going to complete it to Rashad Bateman. He gets them a solid gain of 9. Still have not ran the football yet. Let's see if he decides to hand it off to Jamal Lewis. On his 3rd and 1, yes. Actually, no, read option. Lamar going to keep it and knock at the first. Quick 3 and out for both teams. We'll watch them again. All right, Rams start at their own 20. There we go. Puka Nacua getting his first catch of the game at 3 yards. 2nd down and 7. Here's Dickerson. Nice cutback. Great block by the lineman. Eric gets the first down. Our first down of this game. And they're going back to the run. Smart decision. Great defense. 2nd and 9. Here comes Hamilton on a blitz. Stafford over the middle. What a catch by Puka Nacua. Taking this one to the crib. That's what I expect from this Rams offense. No reason why they're only 5 and 7. Now the Ravens have some firepower power of their own. A lot of it in the backfield. Here's Lamar on first down. Fake handoff again. Read option. Another nice tackle. Credit to the Rams early on containing the quarterback runs. But you know eventually they're going to start getting chunks. This time it's Mark Andrews getting the Ravens their first down. Ravens not quite in Justin Tucker's field goal range. Lamar not going to take off. It's a sack. Rams looking good early on. Going to the fourth quarter. You already know if it's close, we hop back in. Rams 14-0 at one point. Baltimore finally closes the gap. They actually tied up right before halftime. Now the scoring picks up 21-all at one point. Fourth quarter now. Rams up multiple possessions. Just over 2 minutes left in this one. Ravens only have 2 timeouts and they're down 3. Dickerson in the backfield. 2nd and 8. They're going to pass. Stafford finding a wide open man. He's going to take it to the crib. And that's the dagger. Tutu Atwell with the icing on the cake. Much needed W by the Rams. Man, look at the numbers. Lamar 5 touchdowns, no picks. Stafford 3 touchdowns, no picks. Crazy pass performance, but Eric Dickerson 14 for 132 and 2 touchdowns. Jamal Lewis 7 for 27, 3.8 yards a carry. I mean, Lamar had 5 touchdowns passing. What do you want him to do? His number's not gonna be crazy on the ground, but Jamal had 3 receiving touchdowns, 5 for 75 through the air. So he still had a great stat line, man. Crazy game. And our final matchup, we have the 5-9 Lions with Barry Sanders taking on the 7-7 Vikings with Adrian Peterson. Both teams once again fighting for a playoff spot. How are the Lions this bad? Like, what is going on? Maybe it's because it's a passing league now and running backs aren't as featured as they used to be. Barry with 4 yards on his first carry, had 76 on 14 rushes last week. Can't wait to see the end of the season stats. Will any of these running backs have 2,000 yards in this simulation? Here's play action. Jared Goff going deep. Oh, it's caught somehow. Jameson Williams getting them inside the 40. They're going to end up settling for a field goal, taking the first lead of the game. Vikings first play from scrimmage. JJ McCarthy dropping back, hitting Adrian Peterson, getting 4 yards on his first touch. Another team that I expected to see a better record from, but hey, at least they're still in a playoff hunt. Here comes the screen. Peterson in the open field is a menace, making not 1 but 2 people miss, picking up another nice gain. Both teams get a field goal on their first drive. In this big division matchup, the Lions can get this W. They will still have a chance to make it into the postseason. If the Vikings don't win, they can still get in the postseason, but Detroit cannot get there with a loss. 24-all late in the third quarter. Vikings have the lead in the fourth. It's tied up again. Yet another overtime game. Minnesota wins the toss, and they can win with a touchdown. 3rd and 3. Let's see if the Vikings can move the chains. Adrian gets the carry, but Davenport is there for the tackle. Quick 3 and out. Big 3rd and 5. Empty backfield for Goff. Going over the middle. That's a laser. Jameson Williams again. 11 seconds left. 1st and goal. I don't know if there's going to be another overtime. Lions should just take the field goal, or they could throw a touchdown. That works too. Goff to right for the game winner. And Detroit keeps their playoff hopes alive. 44-38. Crazy game. McCarthy 3 touchdowns, no picks. Goff 2 touchdowns, no picks. Sanders 16 for 65, 3 touchdowns. Peterson 11 for 86 and 1 touchdown. 7.8 yards a carry. He also had 4 for 44 through the air. Sanders had 2 for 13. All right, we've seen every team in action. Now let's sim to the playoffs and see which teams get there. The Steelers go 16-1, get the 1 seed in the AFC. Ravens with Jamal Lewis end up in the playoffs. Same with the Broncos with Terrell Davis. They go 11-6. They have the Texans, Jets, Jaguars, and Bills with OJ Simpson at 10-7. Unfortunately, the Titans go 8-9 with CJ 2K and Derrick Henry. Maybe there's too many mouths to feed in Tennessee. They end up missing out on the playoffs. In the NFC, the Niners get the 1 seed. Packers, Eagles, Cowboys, Commanders, Falcons, and Bucks. So none of our NFC teams made it. You have the Vikings with Adrian Peterson. They go 8-9. The Rams with Eric Dickerson. They go 8-9. And then the Lions with Barry Sanders go 6-11. Very unfortunate. Let's look at the stats, man. OJ, 1,293 yards, 13 touchdowns. Not 2,000, unfortunately. But did he get 2,000 total yards? He added 287 receiving yards with 3 receiving touchdowns. He got more than 1,500 scrimmage yards. Not too shabby. Eric Dickerson, 1,171 yards, 13 rushing touchdowns. He also had 356 receiving yards with 3 receiving touchdowns. He also had over 1,500 scrimmage scrimmage yards. Barry Sanders, 1,450 rushing yards, 9 rushing touchdowns, along with 380 receiving yards and 1 receiving touchdown. He had over 1,800 total yards from scrimmage. Terrell Davis, 2,000 yards, 17 rushing touchdowns. I did not think we would see a 2,000-yard rusher. This man is different. 6.2 yards a carry. Oh my goodness. 100 yards receiving on 15 receptions. So I guess he wasn't amazing in the receiving game, but he didn't have to be, man. That's crazy. The only one in NFL history to now have 2 2,000-yard rushing seasons. Jamal Lewis, 1,328 yards, 17 rushing touchdowns. He had 624 receiving yards with 9 receiving touchdowns, 26 total touchdowns, and he had over 1,900 total yards from scrimmage. Might be the second best season. It could be the best. That's a lot of touchdowns. As for the Titans, Chris Johnson, 1,800 yards, 11 rushing touchdowns. Henry had 547 yards, 14 rushing touchdowns, with less than half the amount of touches that Chris Johnson had. CJ2K had 413 receiving yards, 2 receiving touchdowns. Henry had 45 receiving yards. So Johnson, the second running back in the video to have over 2,000 yards from scrimmage, living up to CJ2K, the nickname. And finally, Adrian Peterson almost averaged 6 yards a carry, 1,346 yards, 10 rushing touchdowns. He also had 224 yards receiving and 1 receiving touchdown to give him over 1,500 yards from scrimmage. Let's look at the entire league stats, man. Mahomes, Prescott, Burrow, Herbert, and Rodgers in the top 5. Joe Burrow, 40 touchdowns, most in the league. Dak Daniels, Russell Wilson had himself a good season, and then Trevor Lawrence and Love tied for 5th. Big reason why the Steelers were the #1 seed, man. Crazy record they had. Terrell Davis, most yards in the league. Jacobs was 2nd. McCaffrey, Chris Johnson in the top 5 with Mixon. And he had Saquon, Sanders, JT, Najee. There's Peterson. There's Jamal, OJ Simpson. A lot of running backs had good seasons, man. There's a lot of guys that rushed for over 1,000. McCaffrey had the most touchdowns on the ground, though. Saquon and Harris right behind him. Then you have Jacobs and then a bunch of guys with 17. Cooper Kupp, most receiving yards with 1,700. Lamb, Godwin, Kelsey, and Mike Williams round out the top 5. Kupp, most receptions. Did not get the triple crown, though. Godwin and Lamb with 16. On defense, Wagner, most tackles for the Commanders. Allen and Vaughn, along with Crosby, 17.5 sacks to lead everyone. And then Warner with 7 INTs. MVP goes to Lamar. We couldn't get a running back that had 2,000 yards in the top 10, man. That's crazy. What do they have to do, man? That's insane. Jamal Lewis wins OPOY in the AFC. Davis in the top 10. He only gets 5th, even though he had 2,000 yards. Chris Johnson in there as well. DPOY goes to Vaughn. McCaffrey wins OPOY in the NFC. Dickerson ends up top 10. DPOY goes to Lawrence. Best QB Hurts. Best running back McCaffrey. There's Dickerson at 5, Sanders at 6, and Peterson at 9. Best wide receiver CD. Best alignment Cosme. Lawrence best D lineman. Clowney best linebacker, and best DB goes to Jarvarius. Best QB in the AFC Lamar. Best running back Jamal Lewis. Wow, Terrell Davis, I don't know. That's really tough. He ends up 2nd. Johnson ends up 4th. OJ Simpson ends up 9th. Burton, best wide receiver. Thuney, best O-lineman. Vaughn, best D-lineman. Josh Allen, best linebacker. And Marcus May, best DB. So our only chance to get one of these 2,000-yard rushers to the Super Bowl has to come from the AFC. We have the Bills and Broncos going at it, so we're going to lose one in the wild card round. And then we have the Ravens taking on the Jets. Buffalo ends up winning 24-21. Knicks, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Same with Josh Allen. Terrell Davis, 102 yards on the ground with a touchdown. OJ had 64 rushing yards and 1 touchdown as well. And his team moves on. So do the Ravens with Jamal Lewis and Derrick Henry. Lamar, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Outplayed Aaron Rodgers. Look at Jamal, 19 for 99 with a touchdown. Him and Lamar combined for 3. There's not much you can do to stop that rushing tandem. Then the Bills kept on winning. They beat the 1 seed Steelers 27-21. Even though Wilson had himself a good game, 3 touchdowns, but OJ 22 for 75, 1 touchdown. Not the best yards per carry, but clearly enough. Him and James Cook helped them move on, and the Ravens move on as well. 38-21 over Jacksonville. Shout out to the Ravens defense. scores and 2 turnovers from Trevor Lawrence. Jamal with 17 for 58 and a touchdown. Him and Henry combined for 3 rushing touchdowns. And then Buffalo faced off against Baltimore, and Jamal Lewis and his team got the dub over OJ Simpson and his team. 74 yards for OJ, 54 for Jamal. Only one team could move on. It's the Ravens in the Super Bowl against a fellow Bird team, Philadelphia. Baltimore gets a stop on their first possession. So now let's see if their offense can put together a long drive. They have to go 91 yards to get a touchdown. Jamal Lewis on his first carry going nowhere. Gonna be tough to run against Jalen Carter in his front 4. You also have Jordan Davis who has inside stuff. And they're bringing up other guys into the box. They know the Ravens want to run the football. Jamal losing yards again. Seems like the Eagles did their homework. They know what kind of team this is. 3rd and 13, empty backfield for Lamar. Jamal Lewis staying in the block. Lamar thrown on the run, incomplete. Tough start for the Ravens. You've already seen them in action. We're going to sim it to the 4th quarter and see if they can not only keep close, but maybe get the lead. 7-0. Eagles got off to the early lead, but the Ravens tied up. 3rd quarter, low-scoring game. Eagles up 14-7. Now 17-7. Make it 17-14. Let's see if Baltimore can get the ball back. Yes! After Jake Elliott missed field goal, Baltimore can tie or take the lead, even though they're losing a turnover battle. 2-0. Lamar to Aguilar. First down against his former team. Could you imagine if he played the Eagles in the Super Bowl and beats them? This should be a handoff. They'll be smart and just run the football. Yes, Jamal getting the first down. Uh-oh. They forgot to put a spy up for Lamar Jackson. A few plays later, he's going to give the Ravens the lead. Last chance for Philly. Hurts just has to get rid of it. Just throw it up. Give your dude a chance, Hurts. No! Why would you take off? The Ravens, with Jamal Lewis and King Henry in their backfield, end up winning the Super Bowl. Lamar is a Super Bowl champion when we put every 2,000-yard rusher in NFL history in today's NFL. Thank you for watching. Let me know what you want to see next. Please like the video if you watched it all the way to the end, man. It helps with the algo and it helps me keep doing this as my job, so I appreciate it, man. See you guys on the next one.